So we're learning Tanya. We've gone to a very special Perek. Been looking forward to learning this Perek for a while. It's Perek 26. And we're going to do what's called a little intro because everyone here is like tapped in a little bit. We've talked on Shabbos about the Tanya. We're mentioning edging God out. Tanya is about moving the ego, and so it gives us the ability to tap into our more spiritual side. And in the Shemayim, it's also going to talk about movement here. It's about wrestling with the other side. There's an aspect of wrestling with other parts of ourselves. So it says like this: obstacles to divine service and their remedy. This is the summary. Up until now we've been talking about the essential divine soul, which is everything I'm about in terms of my mission in this world, is helping YISRAEL in the world connect more to the soul level. No problem. We've been learning a lot about the essential divine soul, and I have to repeat this. United Souls is my whole brand, so the last 5 chapters are all very much essential to my personal mission about soul and developing the soul level. And now he's going to talk about obstacles to divine service and their remedy, because we're all trying to serve Hashem, we're all trying to keep YITZCHAK and do the best we can, and there's the obstacles, there's maniot. That's what Nachman brings down. You have to turn your maniot into ni'imot, into pleasant, your preventations into pleasant life, pleasant world, pleasant way of being. Our psyche is prone to certain destructive thought patterns that can, in their best case scenario, slow our divine service in a snail's pace, and in the worst case scenario, lead to all kinds of fallings. Yeah. So this is a time of year where, especially the mind's prone to a lot of negative thoughts, like destructive thoughts even, or force that, God forbid, could slow us down or bring us down. Like Yom Kippur, one of the big avodas is, we're standing in shul for a long time. It's an internal world. You're going into your inner world. You're going higher and higher up in levels of your soul. You're starting off with the nefesh, with the first 2 levels of vidui, and the next one is ruach, neshama, and Chaya, and then by the end of Yom HaKodesh, Yom Kippur, you're the 5th davening of the whole special time. In Ne'ilah, you're by the Yechida. But in order to go deeper and deeper into your soul, you need to remove all those obstacles and all the impurity, all the ways of thinking that are not healthy. And it's an internal journey. That's why you're going into the Kodesh Kadoshim like the Kohen Gadol. You're going to fly Lifnim. This is Yom HaKodesh. So there's a lot of preventations over there for us to do that holy avodah of cleaning ourselves out and removing all the obstacles. That's what we're learning here of Yom Kippur and Tanya. The Alter Rebbe gives us practical advice on what to do and how to reframe our thinking, which will help us and not only overcome this negativity, but even transform it into definite positivity. Almost tangentially, the Alter Rebbe shows how this fresh outlet will also help us love all Jews. So this is going to be a big next part of the Tanya in Perek 26, chapter 26. Interesting, in my one of my sons went with Mesiras Nefesh. Not only did they go to Uman, but he actually, with the 2 of my sons, they went to many holy places.
Are they back already?
Baruch Hashem, they came back last night. We picked them up 2 in the morning. I haven't slept much. We got back at like 3 something. I'm a bit exhausted, but nevertheless.
Well, at least you don't have to drive.
Chasta Hashem. I mean, I have to sort of drive, make sure she doesn't do the wrong turnings on the highway. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and there was a few moments there we were like, I'm like, you're taking us. Yeah, so Baruch Hashem. But anyway, we made it home, everything was good, but it's just while he was on the trip, while he was in Oman, he went on another trip to Haidich, to where the Baal Tanya is buried. And it was very appropriate for his personality to go to the Baal Tanya, because he's a holy yid, but he's very there's a lot going on inside of him, like a lot of Muhammad's, and so to go to the Baal Tanya, even though there was a lot of movement by the Baal Tanya when he davened, but there was also, and you see from all his descendants and Rebbes, there was a lot of stillness in their avodah, which David Moshe over here can very much understand the stillness of their davening and their silent, and the ability to still these voices and be moach shala ala leiv, the mind to rule over the heart and not have all these crazy thoughts driving us crazy. And we're going to learn about that, Be'ez Hashem, in the coming time. The chapter begins with simcha. It's all about joy. Perfect thing to learn about. The analogy of the wrestlers: the stronger the fighter, if he's depressed and heavy, atzvus v'kvedas, he'll lose the fight. So too in our fight against the YITZCHAK, we need simcha and pesichas alev, open-heartedness. When we are cleansed from anxiety and depression, our natural state is simcha. Depression has no redeeming qualities except that it intensifies the simcha that follows it. That's the higher and higher levels of simcha. The only reason it was there for is not to stay in that state.
Say it again?
Depression is only there to service us to get more simcha.
Meaning we can't, God forbid, be stuck in depression, but
It's only
if we
to
get out
contrast
of the depression, it can springboard us into a good place.
The Avodah brings us to an Eliezer. So the point is using everything as an effective tool for us to get to a state of
no
joy.
other reason for it. That's all
The state of joy is the true state, and the state of depression is not really how we should ever identify ourselves. Because we're never truly depressed, because we're a Yiddish soul, and the soul is always connected to Hashem. So how can it be depressed? It's one with Hashem.
That's right.
Because they're identifying with it firstly, which is the big
That's
mistake.
the most important thing. But you say they're identifying with it. You hit a button and to remember your divine soul. Not so simple.
No, it's not simple at all. That's why there's levels and levels. Like we even say Yom Kippur, there's levels and levels. We don't just start off in the Ila, in Kodesh Kodoshim. We're not on the highest level of our soul. We have to go through a whole dirty process of cleaning out from the lowest levels all the way through. So throughout the year, emotionally and as a process, it's a process. Whatever you do in Yom Kippur and Shabbatim, it takes 6 weeks, and sometimes it's 8 weeks when it's a leap year. So we get 8 weeks to do what we did on Yom Kippur. We have to do it in 6, 7, 8 weeks Shabbatim. These things are long processes. Just Yom Kippur is a very powerful day where it gets milam in his mind. It goes beyond time, and we get to do holy avodah that usually takes weeks or months or years. We can do in one day.
Yom Kippur is like plant medicine. That's what it's saying.
Yeah.
You can take you a whole year.
What?
You can do in one day to clean out the entire previous years.
And by the way, the way that I feel and the way that you actually do the full tshuva, that you clean it out.
Yeah.
Because when you end up realizing on Yom Kippur that connection you end up having with that day, that makes you do the full tshuva, because that makes you actually truly regret what.
Say that again, please.
What Yom Kippur does, the way that Yom Kippur makes you do a real authentic tshuva is because you end up having that feeling on Yom Kippur that you recognize emet, and once you recognize emet, then you recognize all the falsehood that you followed throughout the year.
Excellent.
So that makes you regret so much all of the mistakes that you've done, and then that's a full tshuva.
That's
regret, and also it's a realignment in a healthy way.
So it's funny. So one of the things I experienced on Yom Kippur, between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, and Baruch Hashem, it hasn't been happening this year, is full denial. I'll start questioning everything about is this even real? And it's funny, that actually helps my emunah, because I said it doesn't make sense that this goes into my head every single year at the most important time.
Sure. But that's where
I usually have a pretty good it's usually helpful.
I think that's the most underestimated point that what Ari just said, and it needs to be said again and again, is that MS is the main point of Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, which clarifies both those days and the inner avodah, the truth. And there are many pesukim which talk about MS on these days, and you'll see.
MS comes from dwelling in soul.
Yeah, being soulful, because the soulful is true and honest. There's no agenda. There's no ego. It's a chelik of God. It's a chelik of divine. It's one with Hashem. Just has.
Be blessed with that state this Yom Kippur.
Amen.
It just
Amen.
becomes crystal clear.
Amen.
Shlomo says it. There's 2 ways of doing tshuva. One way is, you recall everything and you beat your chest. He says the other way is you come to the soul level, like you're saying, and you go, I just want to come back, God. I want to go back into your house.
And to be
The
happy.
beating the chest is just removing the preventations. Obviously, if it's done with mindfulness, removing all the blocks that are inside the heart that are preventing your soul level finding full expression. It's not the beating; it's the words. If you look, I spend a lot of time at the beginning of Yom Kippur. This is my personal voda of the night and the morning. A lot of time on the Perish and Milas, on what it actually means. Each of the videoim, I spend a long time. I'm very slow. I'm usually late for everything in the davening because I'm not interested in not doing it properly. I do the video very, 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 very strong. And then by Musaf it gets a little bit less. By Mincha I'm already flying. By Ne'ilah you're not even saying video anymore. You're just now in the soul level. Like you're
going in not heavy, going in like really happy, grateful, happy about myself that I've been putting in a lot of effort. I can always improve, but do you think there's a place of actually going in the simcha without the heaviness?
So if you could do that in a work with the simcha, that's probably even better.
I'm not saying what's better worse. I'm saying, like, is that appropriate?
Yeah,
of course it is.
Seems to be kind of free.
And our generation right now, my wife would 100% agree with you. She'd say I'm a bit too intense about it. She says that for the year we've gone through and everything we've gone through in life, right now we need to have a bit more. Hashem is shining at us more love, and even the Shabbos falling out on Yom Kippur falling out on Shabbos, coming together and push, and the hava, the extra love we get from Shabbos.
And to give yourself credit,
and to give ourselves, to love ourselves,
every
like you
day
said,
and trying really hard every day.
And Hashem does want that recognition of our divine self.
That's not ego.
It's not ego, no, not at all. It's truth. You've been sincerely trying, and that's
by
truth.
the way, and instead of waiting for the tshuva on Yom Kippur, you pretty much have done that tshuva, like, pre-Yom Kippur.
Yeah.
Meaning you started doing what you're supposed to be doing.
Remember, we learned in Rav David, we were learning with David Cohen Sefer, and he says tshuva tata v'tshuva ilah. Tshuva tata is tshuva b'yira, and tshuva ilah, the higher level tshuva, is tshuva with love. And so really this 10 days is with love, and Shabbos with Yom Kippur is an even intense version of the love. So it's a real elevation. It's going onto the higher levels of your mochin, of your understanding. So having joy and understanding, joy and understanding go together. Bina Salev, Simcha Salev, they go together. So you're correct, and it should be a joyful experience. And you know what? I'm going to try add that a bit more to my heavy, intense Avodah that I usually do in the night and the morning. Try and pick it up a little bit more into a higher pitch.
I mean, you've been immersed in Torah, giving over Torah's day in and day out this whole year, non-stop. That's incredible.
This week was going to be one of the first weeks I hadn't learned Tanya with anyone. So you guys, no, we just did. We're learning.
We're learning now.
So I managed to touch on all the different things.
With clopping on your chest, I wonder if there's anything physical to that. Meaning, like,
the beat. Because the left side is
not hurting yourself.
The left side is
waking yourself up, kind of.
Is where the left side of the heart is.
You were talking about how you can't.
Yeah, the vibration, the movement, for sure. Everything YITZCHAK we do, the movement we have, is all very symbolic. And I wish we had more understanding, like Kabbalistic understanding. There was a few people.
I don't think it's symbolic. I think it's physiologically doing something.
Yeah, it does something. The idea of
it's not an idea. It's a
the idea that
whole being.
There are people who know how to formulate their body in the shapes of the osseous, and there's all kinds of Kabbalah that we've lost, like meditation and understandings of movement, and we probably do a lot without even realizing.
I think that emotion is in it.
Oh, Hashem.
Yeah, but I'm extrapolating it from other traditions. It's not like I got it.
Yeah.
Left here. I can't make a left here.
We need to reawaken it.
Where am I making a left?
No, straight. Let's go straight.
The words, what they actually meant as an experience.
It's a one-way road, so it's a bit complicated.
Right.
Devin Melech writing to Hillel 2,900 years ago. He was in a mystical state when he was writing these things.
Sure.
Rabbi Kaplan says that the whole Tanakh was written in a state of awakened consciousness, and the only two ways to get there, he says, in meditation of the Bible is either through meditation or through plant medicine. That's what he personally said.
Interesting.
If you really want to understand what's going on from the level of consciousness that you're living on, you're not there.
Well, let's see what the Tanya says, because we are learning that now. Bram kigon dasach ladori.
I forgot what we were learning now.
Klal Godel.
Chapter 26.
This must be made known as a cardinal principle. Ki kamosh nisachel netzach davar gashmi. In order for us to be victorious, just as Hashem is victorious over a physical opponent, in the service of Hashem, to be victorious over our physicality, just like a person is victorious with wrestling and in this world. Kigon shnei noshim, it's abkim zeh im zeh lahapil zeh zeh, like it says by Yaakov in the Malach when Yaakov became Yisrael, he was fighting the angel of Esav. So that was the example of the war, eternal war we have with the Yitzhak, at least in this world. And the idea that the nitzachon, the victory, comes with our enemies through this fight. How he's going to give us an answer. If one is lazy and sluggish, he will easily be defeated and will fall. Even if he's stronger than the other, saying like he's learning the whole time, and he's like seems very firm and everything else, like very into Yiddishkeit. But if he's got a slow energy and he's down, he will, even with as strong as he seems to be, with all his Yiddishkeit, he's still full. God forbid. And that's why, this is right. It's a one way, so we have to do this. So and also remember, Waze is not 100% right now, so just gonna do this.
Which ways are we talking about here?
Yeah.
The ways of the Tanya? Or
The ways of the machine, yeah. It's true, it's all connected. But we've got to somehow get that clarity and that energy. Same with the conquest of the evil one's nature, we have to overcome it. Even a little light of honey dispels much darkness of the klipa. That's a famous concept. Here too, the previous rule applies. We're not going to be successful over the wrestler. We're not going to be successful over the YITZCHAK, the evil inclination, if we're slow, depressed, down, sad, and which stems from sadness and the stone-like dullness of the heart. So if the heart is all blocked and it's stone-like, it's cold and doesn't have energy and chiyas, so maybe that's part of what Ari was hinting at, the clapping on the heart is sort of breaking that stone, that block, whatever's blocking it, and the vibration removes that block and awakens the more heart of flesh. We're turning a heart of stone into a heart of flesh. So we start to feel again and be sensitive. In every sadness there will be profit. Moses, sorry. Which means that some profit and advantage should be derived from it. The point is, there will be profit implies that on the contrary, the sadness, and we're saying here, the sadness has no virtue. You don't benefit, you don't profit from sadness. But it seems like, based on the pasuk, when he brought the pasuk from Mishlei, there is some sort of profit when there's sadness. So what's that talking about? He said that some profit will also be derived from it. Hine, and this is a deep concept psychologically. This is a concept which we have to be reminded about, because I don't think we think naturally this way. This profit is true joy in God, which follows the true sadness over one's sins. Now, you have to be very careful here. Atzvus in Chassidus is something we try to stay away from, depression. However, bitterness, meriris, sadness over our lacks is a positive form, because it turns into simcha. Because what we do is we weaken the other side through the bitterness, because it has a hold on us. We break open the heart, the broken heart, and then the joy starts to replace it, the bitterness. So it has to be. No problem. Sure.
Hey, sorry, you're in the car now with a few friends. Just giving you a heads up, you're on speakerphone.
Yanuka.
Someone went for him for a bracha for Shalom Bayit.
Yeah.
And you know what he said? And it was great, and it actually gave me a little motivation today.
You're on a Shalom Bayit moment.
You know what he said?
Yeah, go on.
Wash the dishes. That's what he told. That's what he told the guy.
I find myself, mamish,
I love washing
anytime
dishes.
I leave my house and there's a sink full of dishes, I really make a conscious. I really try to do them, even if it's
I do also.
late.
Before I come to work, usually I'm doing dishes.
The merits of having a clean sink.
I just emptied out both dishwashers.
Talk about everybody. Come on.
Yeah, we're getting a dishwasher for the first time
Baruch
in our
Hashem.
marriage.
Wow.
That's when we move house, not now. Hanukkah.
Gewalt.
Have to wait. All right, and then
First time in your marriage, you can have
what's the Yisurin? What are we going to profit from sadness? We're going to have true joy in Hashem. Which come at a specific suitable time from a broken heart. And now this is what I wanted to talk about. Everyone's feeling a bit broken from this war, and we're all dealing with this, yeah. But the concept is a broken heart removes the blockage. Yeah, he's going to say in a minute, ruach nishbar, nishbar, leiv nishbar. This broken spirit, broken heart removes the YITZCHAK's control over us, the other side. We're really breaking the other side, the ego, and then we're able to, once we've removed the ego, we're able to then have space for the joy. So one of the things we should do right now is realize that Hashem is running everything, this war, everything in our life, and be completely open to Hashem's guidance this new year, and allow with Yom Kippur to visualize. One of my favorite moments is at the end of Yom Kippur when you feel this lightness now, and you feel clean, and then you're ready to go now into Zman Simchasenu. We've got 4 special days to get ready for Sukkot, and it's Keneged the Shem Havaya. So they're also taking the coach, or you're at the 5th level of the soul, is already Yom Kippur, and then you're going back down, bringing it down into reality through the Lulav and Esrog, which is the Dalet Minim, Keneged the Shem Havaya, and you're bringing alive the Shem Hashem, and you're bringing that into your Sukkah, and you're doing loads of movement. What is the movement we do on Sukkot? We're doing the Nanuim, and we're going round, shaking the Lulav and Esrog, and we're going round and round the Bima, doing Hoshanas, and this is Makifim, this is surrounding us with positivity, and every time we shake the Lulav, we're bringing it back inside, this idea of pushing forward, pushing away the negativity, and bringing back the Chesed Hashem, the Gilui of Hashem, into our heart, into our life, more and more and more, internalizing the positivity around us, and we're thanking Hashem, the gratitude and the joy. There's so much inner avodah if you think about what we're doing on Sukkot, of simcha and joy, but we can't get to all that simcha and joy without first removing all the blockages, and that's what Yom Kippur is enabling us to do. But remember, before all of that, we crowned Hashem as King. We were doing this all for Hashem. That was Rosh Hashanah, and these whole 10 days. So now we're going to go see a tzaddik, and the tzaddik's going to hopefully help us to really, fill this and open up some doors for us that maybe we don't know how to do, and bring some bracha and clarity. And also the Tanya gave us some clarity, Baruch Hashem. And the amazing thing, make me hear joy and gladness. That's how